Everything is getting more expensive. And unfortunately, your Medicare Supplement plan is not the exception to this rule. Additionally, once you're enrolled in a Medicare Supplement plan, also known as a Medigap plan, it's really very difficult to shop around because in most states, if you are changing plans or enrolling outside of that initial 6-month window after you turn 65 and enroll in Part B, then you may be subject to medical underwriting. So even if you think your plan is expensive now, or it could be expensive in the future, changing plans could be even more expensive, and you could even be denied outright. Now, Medigap plans do tend to increase on a yearly basis to accommodate for inflation and rising healthcare costs. But sometimes those premium increases outpace those other rising costs. And that's where the problem is. Although really, inflation and rising healthcare costs are problems unto themselves. But that's not really the topic of today's video. So inflation currently seems to be hovering somewhere around 2.5%, with rising healthcare costs seem to be about 4.5%. Now, before you sound off in the comments, remember, these are the numbers at the time of recording this video. They may be different when you're actually watching this video, so if you're seeing a different inflation rate or different changes in healthcare costs, that has nothing to do with the information that I'm currently giving you. Unfortunately, these things can and do change. So as I said, Medicare Supplement plans do tend to increase, usually somewhere between 5 to 8%, although some people have reported rate increases as high as 12%. Now, although it's impossible to see into the future to determine what your rate increase might be, there are a couple of factors that come into play, namely the plan that you choose, the type of pricing, and the carrier. So some carriers have a history of lower, more stable rate increases. And remember, the benefits don't change from carrier to carrier. So it's very important that you not only pick the correct plan for your needs, but choose a carrier with a history of lower, more stable rate increases. And this is where a broker comes into play. Somebody that is familiar with multiple different plans offered by multiple different carriers that can offer you advice as to which carriers have that better history as opposed to a more erratic or dramatic history. Now, if you do need assistance from a broker, we are licensed health insurance brokers. We're licensed nationwide, and there's absolutely no charge for our services. You can reach us in the comments below with any questions or at the number on the screen. And of course, we do release these videos on a weekly basis, so please make sure to like and subscribe. All right, back to it. Then also certain plans have a history of more dramatic rate increases versus others. Now, this shouldn't be the deciding factor, but it is something that you should take into consideration. For example, historically, Plan F has increased more dramatically than something like Plan G or Plan N. And then finally, your rate increase is largely determined by the type of pricing that your plan offers. So let's take a look.
So on Medicare.gov, of course, once you've put in your information, you will see the variety of different plans available to you, as well as the price ranges. Now, I haven't put in any of this information. That's why you're seeing such very wide price ranges. But what we're talking about in today's video is the pricing and the different types of pricing. So what you would do, I'm going to go down to Plan G, is click View Policies. And then you will see over on the right-hand side of the screen, it will either say issue age pricing or attained age pricing or community rated pricing. And what type of pricing you have on your plan affects how quickly it goes up. So you can see here, issue age pricing. Premiums are low for younger buyers and won't change as you get older. So it is likely that an issue age pricing plan will go up at a more stable rate. Now, of course, you need to take into consideration the carrier and their history, but something like an issue age plan might go up at a slower rate because it's not taking your age into consideration. Then you'll see something like attained age pricing. Now, for these types of plans, you may get a really, really good deal at first because premiums are low for younger buyers, but go up as you get older and can eventually become the most expensive. So very often, people will look at the plans available to them, and they'll see that a plan with an attained age pricing offers them a much lower rate. Well, that's great. That's the one to go with, right? Maybe not. That's why we recommend working with a broker, somebody that would look into this type of thing for you, as well as the history of the carrier, because what you don't want to do is pick a plan with a low rate, and then all of a sudden next year it jumps up tremendously, and you're pretty much locked into this plan, because in most states you can't change without medical underwriting. Let's look and see if they have a community one as well. Okay, so I didn't see any community rated there, so I just bopped over and put in a different zip code. Let's see if we have a community rated plan instead. Here we go. Community pricing. So premiums are the same no matter how old you are. Premiums may go up because of inflation and other factors. Very often they're looking at sort of the general community, the general health of the general community, and that's where they get their pricing from. So probably a safer bet would be to go with an issue age or community pricing, depending upon, of course, how old you are when you enroll in the plan. But again, a broker is going to be able to best guide you. Attained age, you may see a really low premium at first, but it may jump up more drastically, more quickly.
So what do you do if it's just become too expensive? Well, if you live in one of the few states that don't require medical underwriting, then you are golden. Work with a broker to try to find another plan, perhaps the same plan offered by a different carrier that can possibly offer you a lower rate. That being said, even if you aren't in one of the states that has no medical underwriting, we'd still recommend speaking with your broker to see if there is anything feasible that can be done. Now, if not, you of course have the option to just switch back to original Medicare. Unfortunately, you will have those out-of-pocket costs, and there is no out-of-pocket maximum, but sometimes that's really just your best bet. And finally, your other option is to switch to Medicare Advantage.
Medigap plans, aka Medicare Supplement plans, will sometimes impose an out-of-pocket maximum, like in the cases of plans K and plan L, although many of the plans really don't need an out-of-pocket maximum because so many of the out-of-pocket costs are covered. Medicare Advantage plans will always impose an out-of-pocket maximum. For Medicare Supplement plans, there may be medical underwriting depending upon when you enroll and what state you live in. With Medicare Advantage plan, there is no medical underwriting ever. With Medicare Supplement plans, the costs, i.e. the benefits, are standardized, so Plan G will remain the same Plan G regardless of who your carrier is. And that's not the case with Medicare Advantage plans, although they often will offer lower deductibles, copays, and coinsurance when compared directly with original Medicare. Now, no additional benefits are offered by Medicare Supplement plans. They're really just a financial solution to cover those deductibles and copays and coinsurance. On the flip side, Medicare Advantage plans very often do offer additional benefits like dental, vision, hearing, prescription drugs, and many more. Medigap plans, there are no referrals, so you can go to see any specialist without need for a referral, and there is no pre-authorization. That is, of course, not the case with Medicare Advantage plans. If you have an HMO, you'll definitely need referrals, and there's always that issue of pre-authorization, which is a very big issue. And finally, with Medigap plans, it works regardless of who your carrier is. If your doctor accepts original Medicare, they accept your Medicare Supplement plan. And unfortunately, with Medicare Advantage plans, not only are there networks, but those networks can be extremely restrictive.
But if you do want to learn more about the differences between Medicare Supplement plans and Medicare Advantage, I'd highly recommend you check out this video over here. If you want to learn more about Medicare in general, make sure to check out our playlist. In the meantime, please make sure to like and subscribe. And of course, if you have questions, you can reach us in the comments below or at the number on the screen. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.